Hey guys, we are on level 5, Dead City. Now, I'm going to equip the Vitality card here, simply because, well, you'll see later on. Basically, I'm equipping the Vitality card in advance for later, because I can. In any case, this level is pretty chaotic, and the first enemy that you'll encounter in this level, well, if you're fast like me, will be the Panzerdemon. As you can see, he's just appeared over there, and the way you deal with this guy is the same you deal with the Panzer Spider and the Panzerdemon in the lab, although the Panzerdemon in the lab kind of died to the fish, so yeah. Or at least I assume so. But basically you shoot him in the head, and I recommend coming down to this, like, bottom right hand corner, because it gives you plenty of space to move, and at this point you want to use the Stakegun on these zombies. Yes, they're just called zombies. There's not really anything special to call them, really. So they basically have the same name as the enemies from town, but they're completely different. Actually, they are somewhat similar to the enemies from town. Well, some of them are, but for the most part, these zombies just charge at you, and they basically just try to explode and kill themselves when they get too close. So yeah, you want to stay away from them, and the Stakegun's a great way to deal with them. However, I would also recommend mixing things up with the shotgun, at least if you're bad with the Stakegun, because there is a time limit for this level, at least if you're going for the tarot card, because you have to finish the level in under 20 minutes. Now, that's easier said than done, because this level is pretty long and there's a lot of enemy waves, and as you can see, this level gets pretty chaotic. So yeah, there's a lot that you have to kill, and the Stakegun really isn't the best weapon for that reason. Yeah, I accidentally got killed there because I shot him. Yeah, that explosion radius is actually quite wide. Like, it's got a quite big explosion radius of the zombie, so you have to be a bit careful when you're, like, shooting nearby. But really, in this level, there's plenty of health pickups in this level anyways, so I won't really worry about getting hit too much, because it's not really a big deal. The main priority is to kill the enemy, well, kill all the enemies as fast as you can. Even if that means using the shotgun freezer to kill them, because it's fast and it gets the job done. But yeah, the Stakegun works too. You can mix it up with a grenade launcher, like I do sometimes, as you can see there. So, but I completely missed him with it. But yeah, mix them up. Yeah, I mean, like, just mix up all of your weapons. That's kind of the name of the game for this. And well, yeah, that's kind of the name of the game for this level. So really, it's not a difficult level, like, on paper, but with the tarot card, it can get pretty tricky. Plus, there is another section later on that can also get tricky. But yeah, as you can see here, I jumped down from the catwalk there, because the reason why is because the enemies will start vomiting on top of you, so I decided, well, it's better to just jump down and shoot them with the Stakegun from below than to stay and get attacked by their vomit. So yeah, there's a secret there. You don't want to go directly through that passage, because otherwise all the barrels will blow up, and you really don't want to get hit by those. So yeah, you want to grab the secret, like, by going, like, bunny hopping or jumping across the edge of the ledge. So yeah, that's basically how you do that. And in this section, yeah, I'm trying to keep up with my speed of, like, the speed of the game and my commentary, but it's very difficult considering how fast I'm trying to rush through this level. But basically in this section you want to use the Boltgun and Heater to deal with these enemies. The Heater's really good because there's a lot of groups, and you might as well use the Boltgun because it means you don't have to switch weapons, and it's actually pretty effective here, as you can kill zombies pretty effectively by using this weapon. So I do recommend using these weapons for this section, and it's nice and open, so yeah, you don't really have to worry too much about them bouncing back at you, even though they kind of will, so you do have to be a little bit careful. I mean, I got hit by a few of my own heater rounds, but ultimately, it's not really the end of the world. It's not really a big deal unless you take too much damage, because you get tons of health in this level. I mean, there's just tons of it. Like, health is basically no object in this level, so you just want to kill everything very quickly. That's basically the gist of it. Yeah, as you can see, that's where I get hit by the heat around. It's kind of inevitable that I get hit by one of them at least. But yes, once you have basically killed one wave, another wave will show up, and yeah, they just keep coming. And you'll start to notice this in this level. There's going to be a lot of waves that come one after another, and yeah, it can take a while. So, like I say, getting it done in like under 20 minutes can be a bit of a difficult ordeal at times. But I do think the level itself is pretty cool. It's just a shame that the game kind of rushes you through it, which, yeah, like, it's a bit like how Looney Pad doesn't let you kill all the enemies on the roller coaster ride. It's kind of like the tarot card kind of like holds you back a little bit, and it's like it's more fun to do this level on Trauma when you've got all the cards than it is to do this level on Nightmare while you're getting all the cards. But yeah, these enemies are called Winged Demons. The best way to deal with them is to use the flamethrower, because the shotgun, it is somewhat effective, but it's not effective enough if you ask me, because it can be quite difficult to hit them. But the flamethrower is really useful against them, especially when they get close, because you can basically shoot the flames upwards and it burns them, and yeah, they'll eventually die. Yeah, this is where the flamethrower really starts to become more useful, really. I mean, it's kind of weird in a way, because in most games the flamethrower is kind of just there, and it's there because it's cool to have a flamethrower in a first-person shooter, but in this game it actually serves a purpose, and I like how it serves a purpose, and killing those winged demons is one of its many purposes in Battle Out of Hell, pretty much. So it's not a wasted weapon like most first-person shooters. Flamethrowers is actually useful. So yeah. But anyways, these enemies are going to continuously rush you as well, these zombies. So like I say, mix things up. If you can, use the Stakegun, but if you take forever, then it's probably better to use the shotgun freezer. You don't want to use too much of your shotgun ammo, because you do want to conserve a little bit of it for the later sections, because you'll need to use the shotgun a lot in this level. It's a pretty important weapon if you ask me, so yeah. Just make sure that you keep firing that shotgun, that's all I'm going to say, because as good as the Stakegun is, it's just not the fastest. And yeah, as you can see, there's another wave here where there's more winged demons, and as I say, you can shoot them with a shotgun, and sometimes you'll have to, because it's actually surprisingly quite effective against them, but at the same time it tends to miss a lot. Anyways, once you get past that, you don't want to go through the fire there. As you can see, I'm struggling to get up there because I'm so desperate to get this done in time. But yeah, you want to jump over here, and I get burned by the fire anyways, like an idiot. But the thing about it is, and the reason why I got hit there was because I was just desperate to get through it. And as you can see, there's another Panzerdemon here. So yeah, unfortunately there's no, like, you can't go to, like, another place like I did before. Like, you can't go to the bottom right like I did before. There's no real ideal location to deal with him, so you just shoot him as fast as you can and just kill him as fast as you can. But yeah, and yeah, the homing fireballs are still there, so they can be a bit of a pain. There's not really any way to avoid them, unlike the Panzer Spider in Pentagon. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But yeah, there should be plenty of souls to acquire in this level as well. And you want to be very careful when you acquire your souls in this level, because there is a section later on where you will want to morph, and you don't want to waste that morph. So be careful when you're grabbing souls, and don't morph too early unless you know you can get those souls back later. And yeah, I stake naded, but it didn't really do any good. So yeah, I tried to stake nade it again, and I'm not very good at stake nading. That's basically what I've learned from this. I'm terrible at stake nading. But yes, once you kill all them, more winged demons will appear. Yeah, you're starting to see a pattern? Yeah, pretty much. This level has a lot of similar waves to deal with, but at least it's not as bad as Serious Sam, where you're constantly getting like 100 bulls and then 100 harpies. I guess these are kind of similar to the harpies in a way, but yeah. And I'm not sure whether that's the flamethrower that hit me or the projectile attacks that they're firing at me, or, well, throwing at me. But yeah, that's not a good thing to do, standing in there, and unfortunately I did, so yeah. But ultimately, like I say, it doesn't really matter about your health. There's tons of health pickups. I think there's a super health in this area as well that you can pick up, and to be honest, I don't even think you really need it. You can just rush through this level without taking that super health, if you ask me. There's just so many of them that you just don't need them, and you just want to get through the level ASAP, and I'd rather just not bother getting the super health and just, like, get through the level as fast as possible. So yeah, there's another wave of these winged demons, and yeah. They can be a bit annoying because, as I say, if you run out of flamethrower ammo, you have to basically use other means of dealing with them, and it's not exactly the most ideal thing to do. But beggars can't be choosers, so I just use the shotgun. And yeah, once you've dealt with them, then the checkpoint will appear. And this time, you can actually go in the checkpoint, because the last checkpoint was a fake. So yeah. Anyways, freeze that guy, and you see those cars there? That's another secret, and you want to grab it. There's a holy item, you'll need that. And also you want to basically grab this box as well of ammo. And yeah, freeze these guys, and as you see here, I tried to use the Electrodriver combo and I completely missed, but I did hit one of them, so it's not completely wasted. But yeah, I used it again and I killed a lot of them. This is a good place to use the Electrodriver combo, if you ask me, as you can kill a lot of enemies really quickly, and they're just set up in a good position for you to do it, so I recommend doing it that way. And there's some more, like, that's another thing about it, like, when the zombies appear, these corpses are kind of like thrown out of the sky and they land, and yeah, it can take a while for them to spawn in, so yeah, there's a bit of waiting around at times, and yeah, sometimes it can take a while to kill them with the Stakegun, it seems. So yeah, you've got to be aware of that as well. So anyways, once you've dealt with that, I want to go to the next section, and this section's where I like to have a little fun. There's a lot of ways that you can approach this level. I mean, there's a lot of different methods you can use to deal with all the enemies in this area, and it always differs for me. Like, I always do different methods, and sometimes I use the Electrodriver combo here if I didn't use it in the last floor. But yeah, that's one of the things I like about this level a lot. It kind of allows you, well, it kind of encourages you to mix up your weapons and not stick to like one weapon, like just the shotgun or just the Stakegun or like just the rocket launcher. You're using a bit of everything in this level, and that's one thing I do like about it. As you can see, I switched to the flamethrower, and yeah, I used the Electro on its own because I didn't have enough of the Electrodriver combo, but the Electro did its job well enough. There's a super health there, so I just decided to grab it, and there's more enemies that spawn, so I can deal with them using the freezer, but unfortunately I forgot to actually finish him, so yeah. And my Stakegun skills are not the best, so I'd just rather just swap to the shotgun and just deal with them that way, because it's just a lot easier. Anyways, the next section is pretty tricky if you don't know how to do it. And basically you are going to encounter some creatures. And yeah, these creatures can be killed. And they're not invincible like the creature in Orphanage. So the best way to deal with them is to basically pull them down that ramp and shoot them, because you can use this shotgun to stagger them. And yeah, pull them back here, and yeah, it's just basically a back and forth. Watch out, because the cars are rigged with bombs. You don't want to get too close to the cars because they will explode, and that's not very nice. So to avoid that, you can use the ramp to basically avoid getting hit. Unfortunately though, I still managed to get hit by the creature's axe. They're kind of like the, I forgot what they're called now. Are they called the evil monks? I think they are, yeah. The evil monks. They're like a fatter version of the evil monks, in the sense that when they're about to die, they tend to throw their axe, and yeah. Pretty much, that's kind of what they like to do. So you have to be a bit careful when dealing with them. But I don't think creatures are that difficult. Well, at least not those creatures. Anyways, here's a good area for the heater, so just basically shoot everything with a heater there. And you're probably tempted to get all the souls, but don't bother getting all of them, because you really don't need them. There's going to be plenty of souls coming up, and once you get through here, just go straight for the freezer and start freezing the fuck out of them, because there's going to be a lot of enemies that are going to rush you, and yeah, eventually you're going to grab some souls anyways. It's kind of inevitable. And use the Stakegun here to deal with these guys. The next area, which I find it funny how it says people can fly on the bins, and yeah, it's like this fast food place, and there's several ways to deal with this area, but I like to use the Painkiller the most. I used to try and like use the Painkiller combo and kill them, but I just felt like it just took too long. If you're playing on Trauma, then the Painkiller combo is a good idea, but I don't know. Maybe it can work, but considering the fact that I didn't want to get all the souls by accident, I decided to just shoot them with the Painkiller Warhead. And yeah, you want to be careful there because they're going to rush you as well, and it only opens the door, that is, when you're actually right next to them. And yeah, there's a few enemies over here which you can shoot with the Stakegun. This is basically the level's excuse of getting you to use the Stakegun pretty much. And yes, after he's dead. There we go. Yeah, it takes a while sometimes if you're terrible with the Stakegun like me. But here's another enemy which is a bit familiar, and it's called Slave. But it's actually a variant of the Bones enemy, and it functions exactly the same, but they just have a different appearance this time around, so yeah. It's basically, like I say, another Bones, but they're called Slaves, so yeah. Don't pick up too many of the souls as well. You don't want to pick them up, so you want to try and kill them as fast as possible and get out of the way before the souls appear, or yeah, just try to pick up as few souls as possible, because in this section you're going to be picking up a lot of souls. Anyways, yeah, once you get down here, grab the ammo, and eventually this doorway or like gate thing will open, and this is where you get the rocket launcher. My god, do you earn this rocket launcher? Well, let's put it this way, you haven't earned it yet, but you'll pay for it. You will pay for it, believe me, because this rocket launcher is a sign of bad things to come, because the moment you get this rocket launcher, the game's difficulty literally just spikes up to ridiculous levels, believe me. And you're about to see what I mean by that. Anyways, in this section you want to activate your tarot cards. Why? Because these guys will be throwing cards at you and they blow up. If you don't use your tarot cards, you're going to get destroyed in this section. That's basically the gist of it. So yeah, this is the reason why I didn't want to do a no tarot card run for this game, and it's also the reason why I didn't want to play it on Trauma, because I pretty much have to use tarot cards. And there's another reason why I didn't play it on Trauma, and that's because if I did have to use tarot cards, well, there's some pretty overpowered tarot cards in this game, and I thought it would be pretty boring to watch, so I decided to just do it on Nightmare. Anyways, this section has a Panzerdemon, but we're going to kill him with Demon Morph, and this is why you keep Demon Morph, because if you don't Demon Morph here, you are going to regret it, because this Panzerdemon has a fuck ton of health, and by the time you've killed him, you'll have basically passed 20 minutes. But yes, we did it in 17 minutes 55 seconds. So yeah, we did it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.